Listen to what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, one night, he was going on Isra Ul Maa RA. You know Isra Ul Maa RA, the story? Okay. So he said, Jibreel ﷺ took me to the Kaaba, and I was praying at the Kaaba. This hadith is in Sahih Muslim for whoever wants to see it. Lots of the hadiths are in Muslim and Bukhari. There's heaps. You can read them up and see all the hadiths about it. He says, he took me in front of the Kaaba, and then after I finished, I looked to my right or left, and I see a young man. His hair is nice and long. It comes up to his shoulders. It's neither too straight nor too wavy. And it looks like water is on it, but it doesn't really have water. So it's got really beautiful, silky, shiny hair. And his face, his features is dark, Adami, which means he's got a dark features. And he had two people with him that he was putting his hands on their shoulders. And I liked the way he looked. So I asked Jibreel, who is that? And Jibreel said, that is your brother, Isa alayhi salam. Isa ibn Maryam, the real Isa. He goes, then I looked to the other side and I saw another young man. And this young man, he was one of the biggest sizes that I've ever seen. He wasn't tall, but he was just big. And his hair was very coarse, very rough hair, right? And one of his eyes, the right eye, it was bulging like a grape, but the you know the black part, you know the iris, you know the inside, it's like a sultana. He can't see from it. It's gone, so he can't see from it. It's blind from the right eye, and the left eye. He also called it in another hadith. He says it's a'war as well. A'war means it's deformed. A'war doesn't mean blind, it means deformed. So you're going to see hadiths which Prophet ﷺ said his right eye is deformed. Sometimes we'll say his left eye is deformed. What it means is that the right eye, he cannot see from it, mutfi'ah, he doesn't see it. And the left eye also looks unusual. It's got like a piece of meat under it, and it doesn't look normal. I think he even has a different color, but he can see from it. So both his eyes are deformed. They don't look normal. But one, the right eye can't see from it, the left eye can see from it. That's why he's called al-A'war al-Dajjal, the one with the deformed eyes. It doesn't necessarily mean the one-eyed Dajjal. You know how sometimes they put on the movies a big, what do you call it, Cyclops. You know the Cyclops with one big eye here? So he's got a big eye here. That's not what the Dajjal looks like. The Dajjal, he sees with one eye, which is the left, but both his eyes are deformed, okay? So Prophet ﷺ is describing him to us so well. Anyway, he says, and he had two people and he was, leaning on their shoulder. And the Prophet ﷺ said, oh Jibreel, who is that? And he said, that is Al-Masih Ad-Dajjal. In another hadith, he actually said something else. Said, Isa ibn Maryam is Al-Masih As-Sadiq, or As-Siddiq, which means the Masih, which means the Messiah, but he is the truthful Messiah. And then he turned to the actual Dajjal and he said, he's also the Messiah. He said Messiah, but he is the lying Messiah. And Masih has several meanings. The ulama gave it 30 different meanings, maybe even 40 or 50. But one of the main meanings means, for Dajjal, Mamsuh al-Ayn comes from Masih, which means his eye is wiped off. He can't see from it. Other scholars they also said, which is also correct, he said Masih meaning he will travel the entire world, or spread out through the world. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the name of Isa alayhi salam, the real one. Is the name of Dajjal. But Masih, the liar, and Masih, the truthful one. You get it? Ad-Dajjal is the deceiving liar. So, when the Dajjal comes out, the world is ready for him. Now check this out. He said that he will come out from a place called Asbahan, or Asfahan today we call it. Asbahan, which is now today in Iran. And he said that he will come out with 70 Jewish people following him. It doesn't mean that right now the Iranians are going to follow him, or that the Jews of Iran. It could mean that the place where Jews used to live in that time, from that place, 70 people will follow him. Because another hadith, Prophet ﷺ said to us that the majority of the people of the world will follow him and believe him. And he said, among them are the Jews, number one. And I'll explain to you why the Jews. Number two, he said Al-Ajam. Al-Ajam means the foreigners, and usually it means the Romans. So most of the Christians will follow him. And then he said, and a mixture of people, a mixture of different people. Among them, are the uneducated nomad people, desert people, who don't have much education. And subhanallah, I'm just quoting the hadith, he said, and also a lot of women will follow him. Which is quite interesting to tell us, because in the social media today, social media world, isn't it a really fake world? Is it a fake world or not? So much filters, so many people who think that by getting so many likes that they're somehow important now. You know, you can show yourself, excuse me for the expression, you can show yourself licking the tongue of a dog and you'll have so many likes from it. You can, like, the more stupid you do things, the more people give you likes and the more people copy you. And that's what's happening, right? Social media is a really fake, lying world. It makes you think that you're important, but you're not, based on a few likes, and no one really cares.